I think today I want to start off by asking a question to you in terms of if you had to get a deal today that you can afford and it's giving you around about 80,000, 81,000, what would you do? Like, would it change your game? Would you, is that the pinnacle of your investment? Is it the starting? Is it a game changer? What is it? So we all have different aspirations of why we're doing real estate and all of those things. And today, my friends, I am giving you an unbelievable deal that is giving the one family or the one company that is going to buy this deal, and basically an 81,000 is the gross income that's going to come out of this. And it's a no-brainer for many of you. But I doubt that a lot of people see what I'm seeing in here. And it's something that we can do. I'm going to dive in a little bit into the detail of the deal. But the question that I'm asking of you is that if you have to do basic mathematics right now, you're buying for 2.3 million and you've got an income of 81,000. It's a no-brainer deal. And all of you guys who are already can qualify for 2.3, maybe you already qualify for 2.3, 2.5, whatever the case is, or you've got some cash underneath your pillow or your bed or wherever you keep your cash. The returns that it's bringing you here, it's amazing. So the question that we need to be asking ourselves is that, is this a good deal for you? Because it might not be a good deal for you, right? But it might be a good deal, but I know it's a good deal. And what I'm saying that it might not be a good deal for you, maybe you're out of the country, maybe you don't like the area. There's so many other reasons that come into play when people are investing. But I am going to jump into it like we always believe here at the TJ Tribe. The first thing that we always think about and talk about is that on here, we have the firm belief that every modern parent should earn passive income with property. And I bring you all these deals every Wednesday. I aim to bring you a deal. Every Wednesday night, I aim to bring you a deal. By the way, shout out to all of you guys who are watching right now. I appreciate you being here. Let me know in the comments where you're watching us from. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe whilst you edit so that whenever we go live, you know that we're going live. And also, don't forget to share with these kind of deals to other people. You never know whom you may change their game in terms of their income earnings. So let's jump ahead and talk about these deals. I'm always talking about the deals, and I'm always saying that this is the beginning of you building a secure future, because real estate, they don't make land anymore, but you already know that. That's why you're here. And I'm going to jump into it. Let's just talk about it. I'm going to showcase to you guys a deal that I didn't find this. I've got an agent of mine, a sourcing agent, who found this property out in Soweto. And they reached out to me and says, TJ, I've got a deal here. And this deal is amazing. And I said, whoa, yeah, you're right. Is it accredited? He says, yeah. Send me the details. I said, how many people can you put in here? He says, a total 18. I'm like, wow. And we already know that if a property is accredited for Johannesburg, we're talking about 4,500 that you can bank for accommodation. And if you do the mathematics there, 18 by 4.5, you already see that you can bank 81,000. So for the purpose of our conversation, we're just going to round it off as 80,000. I don't know how you are going to buy the property, so I'm going to leave the numbers there. If you're going to be borrowing some money from the bank, you can. Actually, the way I found this property is that there was a person who knocked on my door the other day, and they were saying to me, well, it's the same agent who says to me, TJ, would you like to join venture, or would you like to find some capital for this guy? He is out of capital. He doesn't have closing costs. The bank can give him, they've already qualified him for 2 million X. I think it was 2,500,000 or somewhere there. But he doesn't have closing costs. That's how I got to know about this deal. So the deal was good. Someone else, ABSA, actually came out of the property and they were cool with it. So I couldn't help the guy. There was no one in my immediate circle now who could fund him. So here is the thing, right? So we can buy for 2.3. We can close it at 2.3. You're earning 81,000. That's the gross income. But before we buy, I always say to people, right? When we are buying these properties, it's just not a matter of buying them. We need to be thinking about where we are buying, right? So in this case here, this property is in Soweto. It's a student accommodation. The real question, the real deal that I want to ask of you here is that we're not going to dive into the area because you're buying it specifically for students. So do you know the area? And shout out to all my people that are in Soweto, in and around Soweto, born, bred in Soweto, and you're staying somewhere else. Shout out to you. So what do we know about Soweto before we start to say, oh, this is a great deal? What is it that you know? I think for many people, we would all testify. We've heard of the museum, the Apartheid Museum. It's in and around Soweto, but we're not buying for that purpose so that we can Airbnb and people can go there. That's not the reason here. We all know fill up the stadium. I think it was the FNB Stadium. Have they changed the name? Still the FNB Stadium, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. I'm not so sure. But the bottom line is that there's a humongous stadium. And I hear Banner Boys wanting to fill up the stadium. Will he fill up the stadium? I don't know when he comes here. Let's hope he does. Or is it the Twin Towers, right? The towers in Soweto. Is it what you know about this area? Now, all of these are just examples of what is it that you know of the area, but that's not the reason why we're buying this property. So we need to dive in a little bit deeper. And for some of you who have been learning with me, you'd already know that we start at this junction now to understand the neighborhood, to understand the area, to understand the issues, to understand, is it a place where you can put your money? And if the answer is yes, then this is a good deal for you. And if the answer is no, then it's not a good area for you. Everybody has a different investment strategy. Investment is just as good as getting married. Not everyone is good for everybody. You may just see, like you all know that I'm happily married with my wife. And she just happens to be a yellow bone. Yeah, she just happens. But if I'm to see someone else, they might be amazing, beautiful, but they may not be beautiful to me. They're beautiful for the next guy, right? And that's what investment is all about. What might be beautiful to you today in terms of cash flow might just not be beautiful to you, to the next person. So that's what it's all about in Soweto. So if you're just meeting me, welcome. Hey, my name is TJ. I am that guy who won some awards in terms of investments. I went on and I started saying to myself, how best can I reach out to other people who doesn't have this information? And I started writing books. So I got 3. I'm a published author. Yes, that's what it means. I'm a published author. And I've got 3 books that are out there. And you can grab all of those books onto my websites. And they can be a blessing to you in terms of your property education. This is just the elementary of it. But if you're wanting to learn a little bit harder, deeper, and grow your business, then there's other channels to do that. Recently, I was out and about in the United Kingdom. I took my family there, and property has allowed me to do that. Whilst I was out there, my business still continued because property gives you passive income. Property gives you passive income. I say it's passive income. It doesn't mean that you're not going to do the work. It's passive compared to being employed. You still need to do some work. I never want to promote real estate investment as a passive income, like zero, no work. If you are buying it for yourself, obviously you can have a team that's going to work for you and all of these people will be able to do some awesome stuff, but it's not 100% passive. You're going to do some work, but the work is very different compared to what you're doing at the moment. So shout out to all of you that are watching us from all different areas. I see some of the comments here. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right. Let's jump on to the deal itself. Right. I apologize that my colors here look like I am from, there's many colors here. Red, turquoise, green, yellow, blue, black. Anyways, we're going to be talking about how you can buy this property. It's available. I can only help one person to buy this deal. Maybe it's a husband and a wife. But the bottom line is that if you have cash of 2.3 million, you can buy this deal. If you qualify for 2.3, you can buy this deal. Whether you're a Stokvel, whether you are an individual, whether you're a husband and wife, whether you're a company, it doesn't really matter. But the bottom line is that this deal is available. It's accredited. You can do 18 students on the property, and you are able to bank 81K on a monthly basis. Right. The deal itself, it works like this, right? You're buying it for yourself and you own it. So at the back of this deal, it's a house that's been converted into a humongous house for students, and it's got outer cottages. As you can see there, that's the outer part of it. You can house 18 students. With the 18 students, you are able to collect 81,000. The property already is functional as a student accommodation. So you're not doing much here. There is furniture, there is everything else that you need to run a student accommodation. It's already there. Is this a good deal, my friends? I'm sure you've been doing your numbers already to see whether this is a good deal. I think it's an amazing deal. It's an unbelievable deal. By the way, if you like these deals that I bring out to you on a weekly basis, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe so that you get to see them all the time. And by the way, when I'm sharing with you these deals, my aim is that you're not only seeing the deals, but you can learn a couple of things as well as we go along. So that's my aim. So I'm trusting that you are also still wanting to learn as we go along. Right. So this property here, where is it going to serve? Which university is it going to serve? It's going to serve an area, or should I say a university called the University of Johannesburg. There's two companies. There's two campuses. There's a Soweto campus, and then there's another campus which is within the Melville area, that side in Johannesburg. So here, this university here, the one that we're talking about, is the campus that is in and around Soweto. So because it is in and around Soweto, I wanted us to understand the demographic, or what are we putting our money into. This university was established in 2005, which means that it's a fairly young university. If you had to look at the lifespan of many universities, you'll understand. This is a very, very young university or young campus. Over and above that, currently, or should I say at the moment, the data that I got from Rock Apply, I didn't go and look for this data, right? Other people or online, they helped me to source out this data. They say there's around about just over 51,000 students. That's a good number. You are wanting to tap into that number so that they can come and stay at your property. They already have accommodation issues. So that's what you are going to be serving there, right? What else can we talk about there? Yeah, it is in Johannesburg. You all know that. Apparently, right, there's some scholarships that are offered. Yes, available. And they represent 80 nations. 80 nations that are represented at UJ, this campus. Wow, I didn't know that. So which means that there's other people from other countries that are also studying there. Amazing. Unbelievable. So that's the demographics of who you are going to be serving to. And over and above that, because it's accredited, the university is going to send you the students to say, you're going to be on a list, and with that, they will drive some traffic to you. And whoever who's going to be your manager now needs to liaise with the student accommodation liaison officers at the universities for how that works. If you've never done student accommodation, then learn how to do that. But for some of you already know what I'm talking about. This deal here, you're making money when you're buying, all right? So fully functional, the estimated value on this property is 3.5. Yep, 3.5. You are buying at 2.3. So you're making some good money off cuff. You're making some good money off cuff. We're always talking about buying. Make your money when you're buying, isn't it? So this is it. And over and above that, you're making some good cash flow, right? Depending on how you are going to be buying the property. So here is how you can buy the property. In the comments, I'm going to pin in a comment there, and basically the comment will say, link tree, meet the TJ tribe. Once you click on it, right, it will take you onto another page. Within that page, it will say, you can click on where it says looking for property deals. When you get there, it will then lead you onto a page like this one and say, TJ, secure some deals, and you can populate this. On the top, it will say opportunity, and it will say name, surname, and all of those things. I need all of those things so that we can get in contact with you. The opportunity name, please use the name or the reference Soweto Res. Soweto Res. I got a couple of questions here that a few people have asked me. So I did send out this deal to a few people that had said to me that they're good to go. And they're busy looking at the deal. And I also want to give you guys an opportunity to go and check it out. So here's a couple of questions that other people have asked me. So the first question is that, why is the seller selling? I don't know. Is it my business? Well, I know it might be. You may want it to be your business, okay? It's important for you to know. That was a joke, yeah? Yeah. Why is the seller selling? In this case, the seller is in the transportation logistic business, and he needs some cash urgently to go and do whatever that he's doing within the logistic business. This is not his primary business. He was hedging his money here, and the time to move on has come. The next question is, can I get a manager to manage it for me? Yes. The short answer is yes, you can. And if you're wanting some of my friends to manage it for you, I've got a list of property managers that can be able to help you with that. And TJ gets no benefit out of that. Right. And the other question is, can I buy cash? Yeah, you can. If you got some money stashed underneath your pillow or whatever safe that you've got, yeah, you can pay cash for this deal. And all you need to do is to reach out to us, and we will facilitate the process for you. I'm not involved in the deal. I am just going to pass it on to you. You make it work for yourself. If you want me to get involved in one way or the other, it's something that we can then be able to talk to. Is that making sense, my friends? Any questions, let me know in the chat. All right. As I go through some of your other questions, and as the plane is going to land in a couple of minutes, will there be other costs associated with buying? I'm always fascinated when people ask me this question. Yes, the answer is yes. There's always transfer fees. And if you're wanting to renovate this place and give it your own je ne sais quoi, hey, that's you. That will be other costs associated with buying. The next number. Will I be required to do anything post-buying? Really? You're asking that question? It's your property. You do what you want, right? Maybe you're not happy with the colors from black painted pink. It's up to you, you know? And maybe you are not happy with the furniture that's going to be in the property. You are allowed to change it. Now it's your property, right? You do whatever that you want. Maybe you're not happy with the security that's there and you want to upgrade it. Remember, like I did say, buying these investments is just as good as merit. What works at my house might not work in your house, right? But both of us are married. That's what it's all about. Okay, next question. Can I use the property for myself? Very good question. I thought this was an interesting question, actually. And the answer here is yes. I have seen quite a lot of guys who have brought a, I have seen a lot of guys who've bought a property, moved their parents from wherever that they are staying. So maybe you got some elderly parents, and now those elderly parents, they are in a nest, empty nest, and you're finding something else for them. So maybe you go maybe you have parents already that are in Soweto, but they're not active doing something, and they're frustrating you in terms of what can they do and things like that. Here's an opportunity. You can move them onto this property here. They will stay on the property, but then they use the outer space for renting out to these students, and they can manage those students for you. However, your income then changes because now you're also staying in the property, isn't it? Or maybe your parents is now staying in the property, or maybe it can be your brother, your sister, or whoever it is. It doesn't really matter. What I'm trying to demonstrate here is there's different opportunities as well over and above the property just being there. The next question is, when will I start earning some moolah? Right, so I want to give a timeline here. And the timeline is something like this. We are in the month of Augusto, August that is. And basically you are going to put in an offer now in August, assuming that you're going to go to the bank to borrow some money. And the bank will take plus minus 60 days to get this going. We all know they like to take their time, right? And within that, not unless they're giving you a decline, like FNB gives you a decline, like the next day or something like that. But for them to give you all of these guarantee, that is, there's quite a bit of process. So they will give you what is called an approval in principle, which is a quotation. You're happy with it, you sign. Then they send out the evaluator, and the evaluator will contact you or the agent, and they will view the property and they're good with it. In this case, they were good with it. ABSA was happy with this deal and they were going to fund it, but the person didn't have cash to close off. That was around about plus minus 300,000, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't have that. So in this case here, you will also need some closing fees. And over and above that, we are looking at timelines of August, September. That's when you're going to secure your bank or your bank guarantees. October, November, that's when you will maybe transfer. So you're likely going to get, remember I'm answering the question here, when will I start making some money? So you're likely going to get the income for November. I say likely, depending on how fast you are going to move. But comfortably, knowing how property takes to register, so on in timelines, I think your property will probably register in November, which will mean you have an empty property in December, in January, so you're only going to make some money next year. I would, if it were me, what I'll do here is this part of some, when you hang out with me, I always give you some tips. Uncle TJ likes giving out some tips. If it was me here, what I'll do is that I would take on the property now, put in all my guarantees in place, organize with the seller that I can only take occupation, let's say in December or January. Why would I do that? Well, it's a guaranteed sale because my guarantees are in place. Let him run the property all the way to the end of the year. Then I would then concentrate on the deal from around about November, making sure that all of his tenant students are out. I go and clean up this place, check in my furniture whilst there's no one in the property, Is it to my taste? And if it is, then thereafter, what is it that I can do, right? Because now the property is empty. I can see everything, right? Can I paint? Can I change some meters? Is all the meters working? Prepaid for electricity, for water? What do I need to improve? And I can spend November and December doing that. Then, roundabout in December, I also start to contract. I also start to contract a property manager, come in and stay roundabout January, February. In February, then I start a huge campaign for placements, and I get my students placed. And February, bingo, my students are being placed. University of Johannesburg, I stand corrected here. I think they start making their first payment is April, May, and then thereafter every other month, with Fundi doing your collections for you and that kind of thing. It's a collection body. That's what it is. So, my friends, as my plan is coming to an end, here is to your success, right, in this deal. And let me know if this is a good deal. Let me know if this is a good deal. Is it something that you're keen to do? If it is something that you're keen to do, then let me know in the comments, right? Don't say, TJ, I'm interested. No, don't do that. Sis, no, stop it. No, don't do that. There is a link. Click on the link and put in your details. We will get back to you. Or you will going to get, once you have submitted your details, you get an email confirmation with our details. You can reach out to us. You already know our details. You can still reach out to us. So it is your boy. I hope I've brought you a great deal. And I hope Soweto is your area, your preferred way, I'm having a lot of tongue tightening today. I don't know why, but this is what you get for a live show, right? I apologize, but it looks like it is one of those days. Anyways, as I close the show, I'll check you out, guys, on the next